All right. Hello, everybody. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, welcome
Loud and
back.
clear, John.
Welcome back, John.
All right.
Hello, John.
All right. Welcome to the party. I got the recording started. We are ready to go. How many of you guys watched I think it was Rocky 2 or Rocky 3 where they brought Clubber Lang on and they asked for his prediction. His prediction was pain.
Oh no.
That is my prediction, is pain. When we go through our year-end process, for any of you that have never been through it, this will be your first, and I hope it's painful. It's always painful for me when I do this, and it's the pain that brings on the results in the next year, believe it or not. If you don't feel the pain, you have no motivation to fix what's broken. This is it's not necessarily about pain. It's really to expose what's broken in your business processes. And it's pretty cool. I've been doing this for years. I always do it once a year, but I think it would be beneficial to do it more often than a year. Like, the more you look at this, the more that this is top of mind, the more likely you are to be very successful in your business in the following months, following weeks, even following hours. It's like, as long as this stuff is top of mind, you're most likely to actually take action on it. So really important stuff. If there's anything you guys want to hit before I get started in this, I also dug back. We talked last week about the way to make money, even if you don't have a product and you don't have a list. And I actually looked up and I found that I did have Frank Kern's 4-day cash machine. And I'll share that with you guys. So if any of you need that or want that, you will actually get a copy of that from being here today.
Yep. That would be great to have. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to put the stuff in the chat here and give you guys access if you want to. Actually, if you want to download the lesson plan for today and actually fill in the blanks on it. So let me grab those links. I'm going to put those in the chat for you guys. Okay, let me find the chat here. That's always a Zoom seems to keep moving this around. There we go. All right, so I'm going to paste these in. That is going to everyone. So I just put 3 links in the chat. The first one is for the Word doc scorecard. The second one is the same thing, but it's in a zip file. So some of you might have antivirus protection on your computer and it won't allow you to download directly a Word doc like that. So if that's the case, if you have any problem downloading that Word doc in the first file, download the zip file and then just unzip it on your desktop and the file is in there. It's the same document. So if you get the first link, you don't need the second one. If you can't get the first one for some reason, download the second one, which is a zip file, and then unzip it and take the document out. Same document. The third link is for the 4-day cash machine. And when we get to that, I'll open that up and I'll go through that with you guys and we'll kind of have that as a separate discussion. But I wanted to make sure that you guys got that doc for the Word doc. And we're good on that one. I'll actually open it up as well and run through it on my computer with you. But anybody got anything you want to hit before we?
Oh yeah, I have a bunch of questions. First
Okay.
of all, actually, I may not be able to save the chat because I'm logging from my cell phone and I'm driving, and so maybe I can follow your replay or something. Maybe then I can save that way or something. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're driving, you definitely don't want to be downloading stuff. So you should be focused on driving.
Yeah. And yeah, I have actually 3 questions. Maybe I can shoot all 3 at a time and then you can go one by one.
Okay.
So So regarding, see, you are Google guru. So, but I have one question about YouTube. My one YouTube channel was penalized because of spammy, actually ad click. So it was monetizing, but now it is not monetizing. And I have actually couple more YouTube channels, and some people say if your one channel is in trouble, you may not be able to monetize any other channels. Some people say you can. I don't know the truth, so I want to know the truth from you. So that's the first question.
Okay, on YouTube, I really don't know too much about YouTube other than just the basics. So that one's probably best to go on to YouTube and actually ask the question on YouTube. There's probably somebody who's done a fabulous video to answer exactly what it's all about there.
Oh yeah, most of them they say they can monetize other channels, but somehow I don't know. Anyway, I will give a try. Okay, thank you. And a second question, actually, in your SEO, you mentioned that it's really good to have a user, means basically creating content on your website. So is it worth to have that kind of option on my website? Because I have 3 websites, and means is it worth to have other people come and post their stuff, and or it is not really worth at this particular day and time?
Yeah, that's a very old, outdated function of having other
Okay.
people post content on your site. It can cause more headaches than it's actually worth because when you open
Oh,
that,
okay, okay. Okay, then I won't go to that route. Thank you. And the third question I have about search AI. I tried my 2 products, and somehow, means basically I didn't see the results what I wanted. So I just wanted to know what kind of products or services are really getting good results on that platform, because I have various products and services. So I can create funnel and I can promote any of those. So if you know, means basically, because I tried with my couple of e-courses and somehow I didn't get that much of success. I got better success from social media and even from giveaways. But here I might be judging too early. Means I should give some time, no doubt about it. But I just wanted to know, is there any kind of format this kind of products work better on that kind of funnel for search AI? So just tell me your testimonials or success stories about search AI.
yeah, typically anytime that you're dealing with any kind of search leads, most people that are running search campaigns are focused on higher profit margin products where you can actually spend, like, especially if you're doing pay-per-click advertising, which if you're looking at acquisition error, it's very similar to that, only you're paying for leads. You're not paying for clicks. So it becomes a lot cheaper. But anytime you're paying for any kind of traffic ads, you need to make sure that there's enough profit in your product and in your upsells and your lifetime value that you can afford to acquire customers for that price, whatever that price may be. So there isn't really any specific products or services that are better than one another, but that's just common across any paid advertising. You've
Do you
got
have any module in Act which I can follow and set up my funnel accordingly? Because I just want to, means try the best possible way. So if you recommend something in Act, if I look into that particular module and go for it or something, just let me know.
yeah, it's the whole thing. It's not one month. It's the whole thing. It goes through everything I've ever talked about here on this call. And it really is. It's the base foundation of setting up your entire business. Any of your marketing funnels, your campaigns, if they're not based on that ACT protocol, they're probably going to struggle and fail. That's pretty common thread across the whole thing.
No, I was just looking for any funnel which can be used for PPC. Means if you have any that kind of format which I can look at it or something like that.
No, there really is no magic bullets in any of this. It's based on whatever your circumstance is, and that's what the whole ACT program is all about, to follow the program and create your perfect funnel, create your ideal customer, all of that stuff. So that's what it is for. And it
Okay, thank
works
you.
very well
Yeah.
for that. All right, Jay, you got your hand up there. Go ahead.
I do. Seems like a bunch of us are having issues with the links. We're not able to download those resources that's coming up to a 404 page,
Ah,
first of all.
oh, okay. I know. Let me see here. Let
And
me
the other
test.
thing is this an appropriate time to ask about the white glove service for the acquisition product?
Sure. Yeah, what was your question about it, sir?
Is it a good place to go over details, or do I need to run back and find the resource? Because I was in the middle of watching the stuff and I lost it. So
Oh no,
I can
no,
go
that's
re-find
that's
it. but
okay. Go ahead.
Can you give me a quick rundown on the details of that if it's not a big waste of time for everybody?
Oh, sure. No, white glove is one thing that we discovered when we offered acquisition air was a lot of people are afraid to set it up. And because they're afraid of
That would be
making
me, yes.
mistakes. And I mean, that's quite common. So no fault of yours for that. So we decided Brady was getting overrun with people that just wanted him to do it because everybody wanted him to do it. So I said, okay, obviously you can't do that for everybody or we're going to crash the system as far as support. So we set up a white glove install service for those that wanted to actually pay to have Brady help them set it up.
I see.
And it's because we were doing like he would do a 15-minute call and it was supposed to just answer their questions. But what wound up happening every time the 15-minute call would take place, they wanted him to install it for him. And he was on there for like an hour. And that just didn't work because it just crashed his entire schedule.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's why we did that. That's why we put that out, offered that. And I see why our links are not working here. I just need to fix
Okay.
this real quick.
And is there a specific link to get details about the white glove service or sign up for it?
Yes, there is. I can get those for you.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm just trying to figure out how to fix her. Okay, I think I got that one. And these links are being finicky.
Is there any other kind?
Yeah, really. I gotta rename. I put spaces. The file names had spaces in them, which they're not supposed to have spaces. That's our big problem here.
Spaces. The final frontier.
They're spacey. Okay. Let's see.
I wouldn't know anything about space. Sometimes it's nice to have your own personal space. It's a little nebulous, though, the concept.
Yeah, it is. This is
Sorry, I didn't plan it that way.
Oh, I see my problem here. Boy, talk about a rookie maneuver. I was adjusting the files on my local computer, expecting them to work on the internet.
Oh, sweet.
Okay, so sorry about the delay here.
No worries. Appreciate your help.
Yeah, I totally see why they didn't work though. In fact, I even put them in the wrong directories altogether.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That would
Well,
explain.
I did find my scorecard from last year.
Yeah.
And I think you sent us something in the beginning of December, so I found it from that.
Yeah. All right. So for everyone else, all the links are now working. I just tested them.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
John.
So the links, and for anybody that is
There they
just
go.
now coming on, I'm going to put the links in again for you guys. So there they are again in the chat. So what those are, it's the link for the scorecard, which is the exercise we're going to hit next. That's the one that's going to reveal the pain. We're all going to feel it together. And then also the 4-day cash machine that I talked about last week. And that's a program where you can make money even if you don't have a product and you don't have a list. And it's Frank Kern's bonus that he gave away on a lot of his earlier products that basically solve that problem of people saying, well, I'm screwed. I don't have a product and I don't have a list, so I can't make money online. He said, nope, that is not true. I'm going to give you the answer. Here it is, 4-day cash machine. So we'll go over that one once we make you guys sweat a little bit. We're going to go to the gym now and we're going to make you sweat. So,
And
all right.
John, when you said high profit, that means really something in thousands, because my highest price product is only $500. So,
Profit means how much you get to keep.
oh, I keep everything.
So
Oh, okay, no, okay.
if you keep everything, that's high profit. If you're
Okay,
making,
okay, thank you.
like for instance, if you're making $500 profit and you keep everything, you can afford to spend probably $400 to acquire that customer, and you still make $100 profit. So does that make sense? If you have like a $2 product and you're spending $2 a lead, you're going to go in the hole pretty deep before you acquire a customer. So you might not be able to pull that off. So that's kind of what we're talking about. Jason, go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, John, how you doing today?
Awesome.
Good, good. Quick question for you. I've got a client hooked up on the acquisition air, and so far doesn't have a ton of keywords in for it's a masonry business, but it looks like he's got 11 leads so far in the first couple of days. So, and he's more like just kind of testing it right now to see what's going to come in. Doesn't have necessarily a great email sequence yet or anything of that nature.
Okay.
But two questions ultimately is, do you have, are you going to give out the names of potentially people that we can hire to help us with the email sequence? And then the other part is we have him hooked up so he can get the leads off his website. It's been roughly about, I don't know, 22, 23 hours since then. I haven't seen anything captured on that. And I've gone on myself to the website just to see if it would capture me. And to capture somebody, am I correct in saying that they need to have a Gmail account in order for that to happen or not?
No. Yeah. All they have to do is they must have opted in to receive marketing materials at some point in the past through any of the big advertisers. So almost everybody is going to be on that list. It's a lot of people. It's not 100%, but most people have opted in on somebody's site and agreed to receive marketing materials. And then they go into this big churn file.
Right. Okay. And that's for when they just land on the guy's website, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
They have to have visited his site. You have to have the cookie pixel on there. And you have to have the campaign turned on. So if you've received none, you might have the campaign paused. That's a possibility. I've seen a lot of people that had the campaign paused. It's paused by default when you create it.
Where do you get the pixel to put on the website?
That is generated when you create the campaign.
Really?
So,
okay. I didn't know there was a pixel. I just thought you had to just
oh
put
yeah.
Okay. Can you show me where that would be in there, or?
It's the code that's created. I don't know that it's not the same pixel code as the pixel like in Facebook, but it's similar. It's a code that's generated that you have to put into the header of the website.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay, we'll have to go back in there and look. I'm glad I asked. I was like,
yeah, if you haven't put that, then that's definitely why you're not receiving the leads for sure.
all right, that's fair. That's great.
Yeah, with search, you don't have to do that, but with the site AI, if they're coming to your site, you have to put that code onto your site.
Okay. Okay. And then as far as copywriters to potentially help us with this, because like I'm pitching this as I'm the guy who can get you the leads. I can't be an expert in every market, and I don't want to be an expert in every market. So
Yeah.
is there, I mean, it sounded like you had two, maybe three different people that you might recommend to help us get the copywriting. Obviously, if I had to pay for it once and then I could get it out to 75 different roofing clients and use it, that would be ideal. And then charge them every time I give them that sequence or whatever. That would be something I'd be looking for. So not sure
Yeah,
if you,
absolutely. And I was actually going to hit that as the third piece. So I have a whole thing I'm going to hit on that as far as who you guys should be selling this to, how you should be selling it, and all that. And I think it's going to make a lot more sense to you
okay.
once you hear that.
Well,
And
I will
it'll
let,
make
I
it a
will
whole
let,
lot easier.
I'll let your genius take over now, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. I really love it. I'm super excited about it, and seeing the leads come in and seeing them, they're all geo-targeted right where they're supposed to be. And they're coming in from nice homes and stuff like that. It's super, super exciting. So thank you for the product, and just looking forward to learning more about it, man.
Yeah. Cause I've like over the weekend, especially, it's kind of been building in me, but I had a big epiphany this weekend on who the ideal customer for this is and who you should be selling it to. And it will take your profit margin to just a whole new level.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is it. Like we were only picking at the copper mine before. Now we're digging into the gold mine.
All right. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, John. Have a great day. I'll be sitting here listening intently. Thank you.
All right, cool. All right, so let's
Okay, John, how is that going to salve some of this pain you're about to lay on us right here? When is
oh,
that?
it's gonna dovetail right in. It's actually gonna remove all the pain for you, Richard. I'm gonna put you in the pit of hell first, though.
I can count on you for that, John. Thanks.
I'm gonna do a Cialdini on y'all right now. I'm gonna take you into the pit of hell, and we're going deep. And
Buckle
then,
up.
and then I'll put the ladder down and let you get out if you want to.
Nice.
Some may like it down there. They might like that warmth.
The water she warm.
Yeah. All right. So some of you are very familiar with this because I've been doing this for the last couple of years, but we're going to do it again because it's all about pain. So this is a look back at 2023 so you can look forward to 2024 and fix your problems. So this is going to expose all those problems. So this is gross annual sales for 2023. If you don't know the exact figure, just guess at it. Like you probably have a fair idea how you did. And even if you don't, let's say you got no number whatsoever in mind, did you do better than the year before or worse? I'm okay with that. Just a better or worse here. And then your profit. This is how much you actually got to spend. And I hope you guys have a better idea what that looked like. Like, were you scraping along and, trying to pay your bills? Or were you doing okay and you were doing some fun shit and you had money to play with? And if that's all you know, that's okay too. Just put that down. We just kind of get an idea of where you were in the last 12 months. And now we're going to find out why. So that's the first thing. Just identify it. It's all about identifying, did you have what you wanted in the last 12 months? Or could you have done better? Or did you really suck? and there's going to be people in all those buckets. And I admitted, like last year when I did this, I kind of sucked. On 2022, I had a whole lot of fun because I played all year, but I didn't really do much productive. And my numbers showed it. I mean, I had plenty. Don't get me wrong, I didn't hurt at all, but I did not do what I should have done. So This year, I changed everything. I made that commitment to you guys last year. I said, I'm going to prove that this shit still works. And I'm not going to go crazy, but I'm going to do a little bit more than I did last year. And I did way better. Like in the multipliers. I did multipliers better in 2023 than I did in 2022. And it was because of changing some of these parameters. I didn't change them all, but I just changed a couple and did that much better. So the first thing we want to talk about is your list. And when I say list, I'm talking about the people that have opted in or the people that have purchased. This is your list. And the first thing that you should all be doing, if you haven't done this already, is segmenting that list. If you're using something like Kartra or any kind of a CRM, you have the ability to tag people in your list, and that allows you to segment them based on what they want. The more you know about the list, the more money you will make from the list in the following months. So what is your list size? And again, if you guys don't know the exact number of this, if it's 0, I'm sure you know that. I think a lot of you are probably at a 0 list. You know, there's some people that just haven't even done this yet. And if that's the case, I could probably guess at what your numbers were for last year. If you've got a 0 list, you probably didn't make much. And, you know, you might have another job or another source of income, and that's perfectly okay. But 2024 is when you get a chance to step up your game and actually play for real and make some real money in the internet marketing space. And it's all about your list. This is where it starts. If you're not building your list, you're not going to be making money. If you're not segmenting your list, you're not going to be making the most amount of money that you could. You're going to be leaving a ton of money on the table. So the second question here is, how many lead magnets do you have for this segment? Now, I'm assuming that you have multiple segments, so you break each one down. Like you say, okay, I have segment A. How many lead magnets do I have for that segment? How many ways do you have for people to opt into that? How many things do you have to offer to incentivize them to build that list over the next 12 months? You can probably intuitively figure that the more of these you have, the bigger that list is going to grow. That is absolutely true. Once you've got people on the list, the next question is, how many times did you email this segment? This is one of the ones I've really sucked at in the past. I've got lists of people that I've never even followed up with. Last year, I followed up with them. I made a lot more money because I did. But that is a really important question. In Kartra, it makes it super easy to do this and automate it, so it's not a pain in your butt. You create a follow-up sequence. And the follow-up sequence does this for you automatically. It automates your marketing. So somebody opts in, they get tagged. So now the Kartra system is building your list, it's segmenting your list with the tag, and it's doing the automatic follow-up for you. You create a sequence that says, send this person this email today when they opt in, send them this one tomorrow, reminding them to take an action, send this one to them a week later, send this one to them next month. You can set up a lifetime of follow-up automatically by doing one simple thing, setting up a sequence. So that fixes this problem of how many times did you email your segment? You don't even have to think about it. It's all on autopilot. Have you run ads to promote this lead magnet? So most people don't do this. Most people will create a lead magnet, put it on their website, and then they don't drive traffic to their site, and they wonder, why is my list not growing? Why are people not coming to my website? I guarantee you, this is not a game of build it and they will come. They will not. People are not going to come and find your website. You have to put it in front of them. This is a common thing in business. So many people throughout the ages have gone into business and not advertised, and they get cobwebs on their front door because nobody comes through it. And eventually the door is shut forever. You have to run ads. You have to promote. I don't care if if you don't have a budget and you have to go do this promotion yourself and you have to go out on social media and wave the flag. You've got to wave the flag. You've got to promote. Whether you, like for me, I say run ads. That's just promoting, however you do it. Most of you know that I'm not real big on this. I'm not real big on running ads myself. I prefer the easy way because of how lazy I am. I will find someone that has built a massive list that's perfect for my offer, and I go cut a deal with them to promote my offer and give them the affiliate money. I open up opportunity for them to make money from me, and in the meanwhile, they're dropping money in my pocket while they do it. So that is my preferred mode of advertising. Next one, have you done SEO for this lead magnet? Have you gone out and optimized and taken advantage of the so-called free traffic from SEO? Anyone that's ever done SEO, you know it's anything but free because it takes your time at a minimum. All right, so next, do you have affiliate swipe files for this lead magnet? That goes back to what I was just talking about, getting other people to promote your stuff. If you want them to do that, you have to make it easy for them. And you create what is called a swipe file. A swipe file is nothing more than a set of emails that you can give to your affiliate and say, here's how this offer is best promoted. If you want to make the maximum amount of money from this, send this email X amount of days before the webinar or before the promotion. Send this email the day before, the day of. Send this one the day after to send them back to the replay or the offer after it's already been released. It's a set of emails. It's basically an auto response sequence. You're building it for them. If you expect them to do this, they're probably not going to do it, and your promotion is going to fail. And now, worse than the fact that you didn't make any money, you've ruined your future opportunities to go back to that affiliate and have them do it again. Because just like with a dog, behavior that is rewarded is repeated. If they do well and they make money, they will want to do it again. If you give them a bad experience, they will not want that behavior repeated. So good luck ever getting them to work with you again. So these swipe files are really important if you want this stuff to work for your affiliates. How many affiliates have you asked to promote this lead magnet? Most people haven't asked any because they're just not familiar with this, or they don't have the confidence to do this, or whatever it might be. Does this lead magnet have a sales funnel sequence? Like, once you put this offer out, when somebody opts in for your lead magnet, is there a sequence attached? And the more no's that you have here, this is the pain part. If you guys haven't figured that out, if you're answering no to this, every time you answer no, I'm sticking a thorn in your side. I'm basically saying, hey, dummy, you want to make money? You got to do this shit. I'm taking you to the gym, but you got to do the push-ups. And it's meant to cause pain. You should be cringing every time I ask you a question here and you say, oh, no, I didn't do any of that. That answers why you made the money that you made last year. These are very revealing questions. Here is the next one. How many times have you promoted to other people's podcasts? There's a lot of people that are doing podcasts that have audiences. Now, when I say they have audiences, I'm being very generous. Some don't really have audiences, so you could be wasting some time here. But if you're reaching out to podcast owners that actually have a following and have an audience and have a proven track record of promoting products and people, those are who you should be looking for. You should be reaching out to them to help you get your stuff out. This is about spreading the word. This is about advertising, waving your flag. If you've got a podcast owner or an affiliate person that's got a list that you can put your flag in front of and rattle it, I'd be doing that. I'd be looking for those opportunities because they don't cost you money. Paying for ads is expensive. Getting these people to promote you is not. And if you don't make any sales, you don't have any costs associated. There's no way to lose other than a little bit of your time. And I know every time I've done this, I put a little bit of time in and I get a maximum benefit out. So that's something you want to think about. Is it offered on your website? I can't tell you how many people I've seen that built a bunch of lead magnets and they're not on their website anywhere. It's like, where is this stuff? And I am guilty as sin of this one. If you guys could just slap me silly right now, because you could go to my Internet Dominators website. Nowhere to be found is Acquisitionaire. The best offer I've ever put out, and I still haven't put it on my own frickin' website. So don't think I'm just bullying you all, beating you all up. I'm beating myself up here in the process. Same thing I did last year. Because I beat myself up, I'm way ahead this year because of it. So I'm leading by example here, not just picking on you guys. I'm picking on myself too for the benefit of advancement. So don't feel bad. All right. Now it comes, so this whole thing was all about your list. This was all about your list, ways to get people on your list, ways to promote your list. Now, the next page, we get to your products. Did you add any products this year? A product could be as simple as fracturing off a new thing off of something you already offered to sell it again or to sell it to a different audience. Put a different name on it and sell it again. There's all kinds of ways you can come up with products. You don't have to spend a year creating a product. I'll come up with an idea sitting in my hot tub and I'll have a product by the time I get to my desk. So products, coming up with products, things to sell are easy. How many front-end offers did you create? And a front-end offer is something you lead with. It's like, hey, I have this new thing. Who wants to buy it? That's a front-end offer. How many back-end offers did you create? A back-end offer is an upsell. That's something that you offer after they've made a purchase from you. If you guys aren't doing back-end offers, you're leaving a ton of money on the table. When we talk about lifetime value, your lifetime value comes from your back-end offers. Like one of the best, most successful back-end offers of all time in my career, you're all sitting on it right now. It's this call. You purchased into ACT. The back-end offer is the support and mentoring that goes on. It's a bargain price. I don't make a lot of money off of any one sale, but collectively, there's hundreds of people that are participating in this back-end offer because it creates massive value for a little bit of money, and it's a no-brainer. If I look back through my Kartra account, and even before I was using Kartra, I've been doing this call since right about 2010. Before Zoom, I mean, it was back then, it was free conference call. It was literally just a phone call with everybody listening in. When I look at the numbers of how much back-end money this call has generated, it's not in the thousands. It's not in the tens of thousands. It's not even in the hundreds of thousands. It's in the millions. It has made me several $1 million. Like I couldn't believe it. When I saw the numbers, I never would have guessed. But over that time frame, it has. It's been crazy how much back end revenue the ACT program has made for me. And it wasn't even the ACT program back then. When I first started, it was a completely different product. It was the SEO Dominators Club. And eventually it turned into ACT because I realized I had another epiphany. People don't need SEO. They need to build a business that that they can use SEO. And these epiphanies just keep coming. But front end offers gets the ball rolling. Back end offers are where you make your real money. If you don't have back end offers, you have a business that is set to fail because you're constantly in sales mode. You can never coast. There's a concept in business called the flywheel. It's very hard. Like, if you guys know what a flywheel is, it's a heavy gear inside of an engine. And it's hard to get it moving. But once the flywheel is moving, it's almost impossible to stop. It creates momentum to keep you moving forward at a high speed. And your business has a flywheel to it. To get the flywheel moving, you need sales. To get sales going, you need leads. To get leads going, you need lead magnets. You need to be building lists. That's how you get the flywheel moving in your business. Once the wheel is moving, to get it to go faster and keep it going, to keep that momentum, that's your back end offers. That's like throwing fuel on a fire that's already going. It's hard to get the fire started, but it's easy to turn it into a forest fire once the fire is going. You just need fuel. Fuel is your back end offers. I suggest you spend some time thinking about that, because you don't just want a fire. You want to burn the whole village. That's the way you should be thinking about your business. You want a forest fire going. And I know that's a negative thing, but in this, it's not. We want maximum. So product
John,
name.
think of it. I've lived through a forest fire and got burned out. So yeah, there is a little bit of a snag that, but Burning Man works.
So I want you guys to have a lot of these. The idea of this isn't just to fill in one product name. It's fill in all of your product names. What's the price? How many units did you sell in 2023? If you've got a lot of products and you've got good prices, but you didn't sell any, then that falls on the first page. How many lead magnets did you have? How big was your list? How did you promote it? How many affiliates did you get? And those numbers will all probably be zeros. If they weren't, then you got a messaging problem in there somewhere. And that's where this comes in. How many big ideas have you developed for this product? Like, I go through the big idea process with you guys to make sure that you get it. But the idea is not just to leave it at one big idea. Like, the idea is you should be churning big ideas out like a paper mill. You want these things just flying off the press. It's almost like lead magnets. The more big ideas you have, the more angles you can bring people into. If you have different avatars, different segments, they all need different big ideas. This is not like a one-size-fits-all pair of pants here. This is like fit like a glove. If these big ideas fit like a glove, they will convert like crazy. If you're trying to use one size fits all, they're probably not going to convert at all. So the next one is, have you identified the most common objections? Because if you haven't, and you're putting funnels together and you're not dealing with the objections, you're going to get rejected. Objections create rejection. And in this world, we're talking about a digital world here. You don't get to see them. You don't get to stand face to face and battle your enemy. You just lose. Your funnel fails and you don't have a chance to defend it. You don't have a chance to right the ship. It's just done. Game over. You tilted. So if you don't address these objections by first identifying them, you're going to lose. This is not a game you're going to be able to win. Have you identified why someone needs this product? This goes back to the creating demand and desire. If you can't identify why they want it, you're going to have trouble with your messaging. You're going to have trouble attaching to their emotion of why they want it. It's one thing to know they need it. It's another thing to know why. And if you're going to create a meaningful conversation about that, you need to know this. You need to know, why do they need this? Why do they want it? Identify the biggest benefits. This is what they get out of it. A benefit is not what it is, it's what it does. Forget about what it is. Focus on what they get out of it. What does it do for them? This product has to do something for them, or why do they care? You got to identify that. This goes into your marketing funnel. This goes into the process of getting them juiced up to want to buy it, eliminating their objections and making that offer. Next, once you identify the benefit, have you three-dimensionalized it? This is where you say it in a way they hear it, see it, and feel it. This right here is a game changer. Three-dimensionalizing benefits is something that takes your funnel to an incredible amount of horsepower. I mean, this is just like pouring fuel on the fire. This will get your flywheel really cranking. And I'm not going to get into it right now because you guys have heard this umpteen times from me before, and there's an actual module in ACT about this. If you haven't looked at that, go and look at it. Have you created an irresistible offer? By the way, there's modules in ACT for everything I'm talking about here. I get so many questions, like we just got one just previously. You know, where do I find this? You find all of this in ACT. Everything I'm talking about here is in the program. If you haven't gone through that, you don't have a foundation to build your business on. You really should go through the core of ACT. That should be job one for you. You need to learn the skills of business, and that'll give you the foundation. So irresistible offer is a key piece. There's a module, how to build an irresistible offer. There's a module, how to three-dimensionalize your benefits. There's a module talking about identifying the biggest benefits. All this stuff's in there. Now, once all this is in place, how many times have you emailed your list about this product? Do they even know about it? That would be interesting. If you're not getting sales and they don't know about it, I wonder why. And a lot of you are saying no to this. 0. How many times have you emailed the product to your list? 0. How many webinars have you done? A webinar is where you physically get on and you talk them through your sales funnel. It is a presentation. In the real world, we had to do this one-on-one. You had to get a prospect, you had to set an appointment, you had to go into their office and make a physical presentation. And you had to do that one at a time. In this world, this is a wonderful place. You can do that one time, and you can do it in your home alone. You don't have to be in front of people. You don't have to have scrutiny. You can do it in the privacy of your own home or office without any distraction. You can do it once, and you can deliver that presentation to thousands of people forever. That is a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful sales tool. You can make the perfect presentation, and if you fuck it up, you just edit it. And just keep editing it till you get it perfect. And then once it's perfect, spread that thing like you're spreading your seed. Anywhere it's accepted, lay it down in front of them. So, do you have affiliate systems in place? Like I use Kartra. Kartra has a built-in affiliate system that manages the whole thing and makes it a piece of cake. Somebody can go onto my website, sign up for my affiliate program. It's all tracked and managed. I can give them their links. The links are generated by the system. That's one of the things I absolutely love about Kartra. It makes doing business so easy for me. It manages the whole thing of getting people to sell my stuff, manages the payments, the whole thing. It's just a dream come true. How many affiliates do you have for this product? You guys have seen my emails coming out to you every week reminding you of this call, right? If you scroll down on the email, you'll see it's also reminding you can make money by being an affiliate of mine. A lot of people have signed up for that and become affiliates. And I'm going to admit again, I've dropped the ball. I have a ton of people that have signed up to be an affiliate, and I have not reached out to help them understand how they make money with my system. Bad on me. That's going to be one of the things I fix in 2024. I can almost guarantee you I'm going to probably double my income just from doing that one thing. Because I have an opportunity. I have all these affiliates sitting there. I have a list of affiliates that do not know how to promote my stuff. All I have to do is make it easy for them. Make them some swipe files, do a webinar, walk them through it, a single training module, and they would be on their way. I'd be helping them to make money, and in the meanwhile, they're dropping money in my pocket at the same time. That is a beautiful thing. Very, very easy to do. So that's one of the things I'm going to be focusing on. All right. Do you have swipe files for the affiliates to send to their lists? Again, back to the whole thing. Do you offer payment plans? If you're selling high-end stuff, if you're selling training programs and expensive stuff, and you don't offer payment plans, you're probably leaving a lot of money on the table. I'm going to admit this, I absolutely hate the idea of using PayPal. But one of the things that PayPal did that was absolutely brilliant is they offered their merchants free financing. So if you sign up for their financing program, you can offer free financing to your customers through PayPal. PayPal handles the whole thing for you. Guess what? You get paid right away. And then they collect the money because they're making the sale. They're just doing the billing for you on the back end. That's a really cool deal. So offer payment plans. Does this product have recurring income attached to the offer? If you're not doing recurring income on your offers, you're leaving a lot of opportunity on the table, even if it's a small amount. Like notice, like when I do my recurring offers, like for the support and mentoring system here, the call that you guys are on, the reason I don't charge much for it is I want you on it forever, because the longer you're on it, the more opportunity I have to bring you things to make you more money. The more money you make, the more money I make. I'm highly incentivized to help you make money because you stay with me longer. And when you make money, generally I make money. Whether I'm selling you something that you're making money with, or I'm introducing you to somebody to make money with them and getting an affiliate, I'm making a little bit. As long as I leave it to where you make the lion's share and I just make a little bit off of everyone, ultimately I make more money than anyone. You need to start thinking this way. You don't need to fleece the flock and try and, get as much as you can out of each person. That's short-sighted. Think long term. Think, how do I get a little bit of money out of a whole shitload of people for a long, long time? That's sustainable. All right, back to the upsells. How many upsells do you have for the product? Is it just a one-shot deal? Or like, you know, in the beginning of this call, we were talking about the white label service, white label install, not white label, white glove. Sorry about that. The white glove install. So somebody buys the product, they're intimidated by it because they don't want to make a mistake. So they'll pay another $100 or $200 to have someone hold their hand and just walk them through and reassure them that they did everything right. That's a great upsell. How many downsells do you have? Like our main product in Acquisition it's a white label service. We know that most of the people are going to want to white label it. They're going to want to make the maximum amount with it. And then if they don't want to do that, then we have the downsell to the agency version. You know, it strips out all the billing. It'd be a real pain in the ass for them to try and white label it if they were on agency version. But then if they're not even of that, we have the downsell down to the private plane. Just the sole business owner that just wants to use it for themselves. If we just had the white label, those guys wouldn't even consider it. We'd blow them out. We wouldn't make those sales. So splitting on and fractioning out to make it to where you have a whole different market out of the same product. So I have 3 entirely different markets out of that one product, having 2 downsells off of the top level. You know, I've got an upsell for the white glove. So I've got upsell and downsell on the same product. Now we get to your offers. How many new promotions or offers or funnels did you create in 2023? How many incoming partner promotions? An incoming partner promotion is somebody that's going to promote for you. They're bringing people in to you. How many outgoing partner promotions? This is where you take your list that those incoming partners build for you. You take that list and now you go out and you promote someone else using your list, making money again. How many content pieces were released? Like, did you create any content around your product to let people know about it? Doesn't mean I'm not talking about a sales funnel. I'm not talking about an offer. I'm talking about like a press release, letting people know what you're doing. Talking about a social media post, letting people know in certain channels, hey, I'm working on this thing. It's really cool. If anybody's interested, you know, just ping me, reach out. I'll tell you more. That kind of stuff. It's content pieces. How many emails were sent? And I'm not talking about necessarily bulk email here. Like I make lists. I have one right here. I've got a list of a whole page of people here that I'm going to send single personalized emails out to. Those are all promotional partners for me that I've thought of that would be perfect people to promote Acquisition over the next 12 months. I have a whole year's worth right there on that one page. I'm going to send out personal emails to them, try and engage them, get them on a Zoom call where I can go into the details one-on-one with them. And I'm going to spend some time combing those and getting those people on board to promote for me. They're going to put an absolute shitload of money in my pocket in 2024. It's worth a little bit of my time and effort to build those relationships and get them on board with it. So I'm going to send some solo emails. I'm going to send quite a few of them. I'm also going to send emails to the list. So how many emails did you send out to move your business forward in 2023? Next, you want to look at what was the open rate. If you've got a low, crappy open rate, you're probably not focusing on the right messaging. You're probably falling into the spam category of just, you know, I'm just going to throw some shit at the wall and see what sticks. If you do that with email, you're going to really damage yourself, because when your open rate goes down, your deliverability rate goes down with it. What I mean by that is if you have a poor open rate, the email providers that you're sending email into, like if you're sending a bunch of people email that are on Gmail, and Gmail, the system sees that nobody opens your email, then all of a sudden it's going to go in the junk folder. Now nobody's ever even going to see it. So you want to make sure that your emails get opened so your deliverability rate is high. How many traffic channels did you use? Yeah. And you want to rate each traffic channel in effectiveness, because you want to know which ones to push harder on. If you used a traffic channel, like let's say you did free Facebook, you're just posting in Facebook groups and stuff, and that's a traffic channel. You didn't get any traffic, it wasn't effective. So you probably want to cut that. If you went on to YouTube and you created promotional YouTube videos and you're just talking about your product and you got really good results from that, you got a lot of people interested, rate that as a good traffic channel and do more of it. Let's say you ran some Facebook ads and you did really good on one, you didn't do so well on another. Rate them, rate each one of them so you know which ones to cut and which ones to focus on. There's a lot of different traffic channels. There's banner ads, there's media buys, there's email marketing, there's solo email ads, there's SEO, there's pay-per-click, there's YouTube ads, there's LinkedIn advertisements, there's probably 100 different traffic channels that you could use. My new favorite is Acquisitionaire, obviously. But you want to look at that. How many did you use? How many did you not use? And how effective were they? And that moves us to our SWOT analysis. And this is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in your business. So you want to list what are your strengths. Those are what you want to focus on. What are your weaknesses? That's the stuff you want to figure out. How do I either avoid that or overcome that? The more weaknesses you can turn into strengths, the better. If you can't, just figure out how to stay away from them, how to not let them hurt you. Looking at opportunities. Now, this is something that I'm really good at, because I've learned what an opportunity actually is. Most people think everything is opportunity, and that's the kiss of death. We are presented opportunities all day long, every day. And if you grab the wrong opportunities and spend too much time with them, that to me is the biggest threat in your business, because you're dividing up your time too many ways and you're spending too much time on stuff that doesn't make you money. Your opportunities are leveraging your strengths for maximum sales output. Like in your business, you should be doing things that make sense for you to do, and you should be hiring out for other people. Like this is a big thing I'm going to cover in one of the next segments here when I talk about the ideal person to go for Acquisitionaire. A threat to you would be doing something that you're not good at, taking time away from you making money. Like an opportunity is where you're leveraging your time, spending your time wisely where you should in your business. Like you probably have all heard the idea of working on your business and not in your business. If you're working in the business, you're not working on the business. Working on the business moves it forward. Like you don't find Ray Kroc flipping burgers at the grill, right? Like I get people that they'll want to get a private session with me, and they want me to help them install their software. I'm like, you're asking Ray Kroc to flip the burgers here. This is inappropriate. This is an inappropriate use of my time. It's an inappropriate use of your time to be asking me that when you could ask that of someone else. If you've got me for 15 minutes, you might want to leverage me for where my real power is. It's not installing your software. It's brainstorming your next big idea. It's brainstorming where your next $1 million is going to come from. That's where you want to leverage my mind, not how to install your software. So again, opportunities, looking at what is truly an opportunity versus what is a waste of your time. And I tell people this all the time. I get multiple opportunities a day, and I've gotten really good at saying no to them because they're not really opportunities for me. It's like, and everybody thinks their thing is going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, and they want me to be a partner in it. And for me to look at that and say, is that really an opportunity for me? In most cases, it's hell no, that's not an opportunity for me. I'm not looking for partnerships. An opportunity for me is seeing something that I can leverage the holy bejesus out of to make a lot of people money and make a little bit of money in the process. When I see those opportunities, I'm all over them. When I don't see that, I'm getting really good at passing. So, and again, threats, the biggest threat to most of you is the loss of your time, because you only have so much time. And if you waste it, it's gone forever. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So here's the big question. What are you going to change? Is anybody here see something in the last half hour that you might want to change in 2023? Maybe a couple of things. You don't have to change all that stuff. Like if I look at how much I changed over the last year out of that list, it wasn't anywhere close to all the list. It was only a few key things. I changed a few key things out of that list, and my income went up radically because of it. So go through, look at what is it that you can easily take advantage of. What are the opportunities for you? Where are your strengths? What are your opportunities? But I can tell you right now, building your list should be primary. If you're not building your list, like go back and look at last week's call. We hit this really hard on the whole idea of the importance of building your list. So I can assure you of this. If nothing on the list changes, nothing's going to change in your business. That I can almost give you a solid money back guarantee for whatever it's worth. And if you do change stuff, it's almost certain to advance you and you're going to make more money. There's just no other way around it. So there it is. There's the pain. I hope you guys are not sweating too much over that. But was that painful?
Thank you, John. It's always helpful.
Always painful though. So.
Well, I created this mess. I gotta fix it.
And don't look at it as a mess. Just look at it as, hey, I'm starting now. It's never too late to start. You're starting, you get a chance at a fresh start on Monday morning, the first of the year. It's the first day of 2024. You get a fresh start. So, and I would start with that list. What are you going to change? What are you going to focus on? There's enough stuff on that list that I just gave you that you should be able to focus on. Building your list should be a core. Going through the ACT program and getting your business foundation set and understood what you need, how you need to move forward. And it's really not complicated. It's figuring out who your most profitable market is, what the most profitable segments are. That's where you should focus your time. That's where your opportunities are going to lie. Once you've identified that, now you go to work. How do I build the list? How do I grow my base so I have more people to sell to? I have more people to help and more people to serve. And that's kind of the way you should be thinking about this. You shouldn't be just thinking about how many people I can take money from. You should be thinking about how many people I can help make money. How many people can I help advance their life and get them what they want? Because if you're just focused on taking money from them, they're going to be very hesitant to want to give it to you. If you're focused on helping them get what they want, if you figured out what they want and why they need it, and now you're going to attach that outcome to what you have to offer them, that's going to change the name of the game from them. They're going to want to buy from you. So always think about it that way. Think about what is in it for them, not how much money you can make or how many people you can sell shit to. That's going to come across, it's like a dog can sense fear. Well, your prospects can sense greed. They know if you're just trying to sell them stuff. They know if you're in it for yourself or if you're in it for them. They can feel it. And it's all about you. It's about the way you present yourself. It's about the way you craft your offer, the way you make your funnel. Your funnel should be everything about getting them what they want. And if you don't know what they want, you're going to have a problem conveying that. That goes back to one of the first core pieces in the ACT program is identifying your ideal customer. I have that whole sheet about all that stuff about them. It's about you getting to know who this person is so you can associate with them. You can become more like them. You can talk like them. You can speak their language. If you do that, they're going to feel like they're looking in the mirror and they're seeing themselves. And who do we like better than ourselves? Like, if you're going to buy something from somebody, would you want to buy it from somebody that resembles you and you're comfortable with and you feel good around? Or somebody that looks like a stranger that might harm you and they're nothing like you and you have nothing in common with them? What's your chances of wanting to buy from them? It's like stranger danger. Don't get in the car. You've probably taught this to your kids. But it's okay to get in the car with grandma. She's cool. She has your best interest in mind. Get in the car with her.
You kidding? You've ever seen grandma drive? Holy crap.
Oh God, yeah, that's a whole nother story. But it's what you're comfortable with. You're comfortable with grandma. That's why you'll get in the car and you can go for a wild ride. And it's okay because it's all going to be good because it's grandma. See, the difference is if you got in the car with a stranger and you got a wild ride, your ass would be puckering the whole way and you'd be, thinking your life's about to end. That's not the way you want your customers to feel. You want your customers to feel warm and fuzzy no matter how bumpy the ride is. So you really need to think about that. How you're gonna form your funnel to make that happen. And if you're all about them, here's where the timeline comes in. Frank Kern did this absolutely magnificently when he sold Mass Control. And that's where I got the timeline lesson from. And then I expanded upon it from what I learned with NLP and the timeline. But in the timeline, in this regard, this is about the sales journey. It's where they are. You think about the beginning of the timeline is where your person is, your ideal customer. They don't have what they want, or they'd be at the end of the timeline and they wouldn't need you. So you want to find the ones that are on the beginning of the timeline. They have a problem that you can solve. And at the end of the timeline, this is their desired outcome. This is where they would want to be. You need to figure out why they want that. What is that actually going to do for them? Really important that you get that piece to the beginning so you can start talking to them in a way that you're going to lead them toward that. You're going to build their trust and desire, their demand and desire, and their trust and rapport along the way. So the first thing, and here's where the lead magnet comes in. Timeline is like the whole journey of your marketing funnel here. So you figure out where they are. You need to know how they feel about being where they are. You need to know this is where their pain is. The pain oftentimes is why they want out. This is why they want the desired outcome. The best thing that you can give them to get them to opt in right now is answering the question of how do they get the first step toward what they want. If you can just figure out that one little tiny piece, it's not going to take them all the way there. But what it's going to do, if you tell them how to do one thing that's going to advance them down the timeline and get them closer to what they want, and they can actually do it, like it's got to be something they can take action on right now, a minimum little step, and get a result. If you can give them that, that will give them confidence. Because the reason they're not moving toward their goal, they don't have the confidence. They're like, they think they can't have it, so they don't even try. And that puts them deeper in pain. So if you show up and you shine light and you say, hey, I know what you want. I know why you want it. I can help you get it. And I'll prove it to you. I'm going to show you how to take the first step. Just take me by the hand and let's make this step together. And then once they do and they see, wow, I did that. I was able to do that. I'm a little closer to getting what I want. Their confidence just went up a notch. And then you take them into the marketing funnel and you teach them, you show them how following you and doing what you can show them how to do is going to take them all the way there. Now their confidence is going to go through the roof. They're going to have some little demons standing on their shoulder, those talking in their ear saying it's bullshit. That's your conscious mind getting in the way. It's the parent. Its job is to protect the child. Remember, you've got two things you have to speak to. You have to speak to their subconscious and their conscious in this journey. When you're talking to the subconscious, that's where the desire lives. That's where they want what they want. And when you're speaking to that, you're talking about the promise. The big idea has a promise to it. You're talking to the subconscious, the little kid in them. You talk about that and they want it. The little kid wants it and it wants it now. Doesn't care about the ramifications, doesn't care about consequences. It's the job of the parent, which is the conscious mind, that's going to get in the way and screw up your process. This is where the objections are going to come from. Objections come from beliefs. The belief of, I can't have that. That didn't work for me. It hasn't worked for my friends. Why would it work for me? All that negative shit is based on beliefs. And believe me, as they're going through your funnel and you're describing your process and you're telling them all the gold, that little bastard's going to be on their shoulder whispering in their ear, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's not true. You got to kill him. That dude has to die in the process. That's where Benjamin Franklin's formula comes in. You kill that little rat bastard. You get him out of the mix. So when you actually make your offer, there's no reason to say no. And remember, if you're doing a digital process, you're not going to have the advantage of being there face to face to eliminate that objection. You have to do it in your funnel. To do it in the funnel, you've got to identify it. Back to the sheet. Have you identified the objections? So you can see how all this stuff is really, really important. There's nothing you can skip about it. It's a recipe. If you leave out an ingredient, the cake is not going to bake properly. And what I mean by that is it's not going to convert. Your cake is a conversion to a sale. That's a delicious thing too to have in your kitchen. Having a half-baked cake that's all nasty and gooey, that's a half-baked process. You don't want that. Your friends are not going to enjoy that with you. Your cake baked properly is going to give you all the money you want. And your friends will enjoy spending that with you. I guarantee it. So this is all about being a baker. All right. Well, I am going to leave the year-end process at that. Anybody have any questions, comments? Richard's crying. He got the pain.
I have a question, John, but excuse me. I went through this process and it was good. But I need to email you something. I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
All right. Well, it sounds like Gregory's got a little laryngitis going there. You might need to rest up this week. So, but anyway, so we hit that. Oh, now I want to cover the 4-day cash machine. I gave you guys the link to that. If you download that, it's a series of 4 emails. And the reason for the 4 emails, Frank Kern gave this thing away as a bonus in Mass Control. And he gave it to a lot of people as gifts for, all throughout the years. This 4-day cash machine's been kind of a famous thing that he's given away. I was thinking back on it and sensationalizing it, thinking it was way better than it actually is. When I went back and I dug it up this morning and I looked at it, I'm like, oh my God, that's like pretty rudimentary. I was like, I don't know why I was thinking it was such a grandiose thing, but it didn't really appear to be. So let me see. Did any of you guys download it?
Yes, and John, we're all in continuous improvement.
And
So we're better today than we.
Yeah, I think I might have given you guys, yeah, I gave you guys the sequence. It's page 3. Actually, I didn't. Let me get you.
We got the cover page 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Yeah, that's not what I was meaning to send you guys. Let me see if I can find the right one here. I'm gonna just open it up on my screen and we'll go through it. Then I'll send it to you guys. All right. So he was under. All right. So let me share the screen. So this was it. It was basically a PDF, and it was given away. Like I said, it was given away with Mass Control. And it's the 4-day cash machine deployed. And this is like showing how he had made money with it. He went out to somebody that had a product, had a list, and did this for him. So these emails are sent every day, 4 days in a row. So email 1 is, the subject is, you put their name in and say thank you. Now, that has a high open rate. When they see their name in the subject line and you're thanking them, that's a curiosity factor that's going to get that email opened. And then they say, as the email reads, hi, so-and-so, until midnight on, and then you say 3 days from now, it might be on a Thursday or whatever, you can get my entire dog training system for half off. Here's where you can grab your copy for half off, and there's a link. Now, obviously, most of you don't sell dog training stuff, so you plug in whatever it is you're trying to sell them here for half off. Might not be half off. It might be 20% off or whatever. That doesn't matter. It's the offer. It's the framework for the offer. I'm holding a special sale as a way to say thank you to all the people who read my dog training newsletter. This might be your past customers. you might say here, this is a special thank you to all the people that have purchased my X product in the past. Here's where you can grab your copy, save 50%. The link again, try my system for 50% off. And I think that is an ad. I think, yeah, that was an ad. If the 50% discount isn't enough to have you and your dog heading to my special half off website, these 5 free gifts will surely do the trick. And then he lists off bonuses he's giving as well. Now, obviously, you could plug in whatever you want. And then this Frank is really famous for like making this sound like you're actually listening to his voice. So he says, "Shoo, what a lot of goodies." And you get it all free when you try my entire system for 50% off. Go here right now and claim your copy before they're all gone. Talk to you soon, Dean. And P.S. The special half offer ends at midnight 3 days from now. Obviously, you plug in whatever day that would be. If you'd like to get the revolutionary dog system, so many dog owners are raving about, and save 50% off, then go here now. Saying the same thing over and over and over in multiple ways. Now, here's email 2 sent the next day. And he says, I wrote yesterday to tell you about the incredible deal. And he's basically just reiterating until midnight 2 days from now. It's the same thing as my countdown timer when I sold SitePop. It's like they had so many days to take advantage of the special offer. You know, a lot of the stuff is the same email. And then you've got 3. Again, it's almost the same email, but the time is coming down. The time you have to take advantage of it is just reducing and reducing. And then finally, the 4th one, sent at 12:01 a.m. the final day. Final notice. Put their name, final notice. Again, that's a curiosity factor. The special half off sale for your dog's training system ends at midnight tonight. And then a lot of the same stuff in the email. So that is his 4-day cash machine. It's not really all that exciting, but it works. You could plug in your stuff in place of his and make this thing work for you very, very easily. So I will, I'm going to go ahead and load this one up, and I'll send you guys a follow-up email with all the links to all this stuff, just so you get it. And all the people that weren't able to be on the call today get the stuff as well. So that's the 4-day cash machine that we had talked about last week. That's what it looked like. It's pretty basic. There's no real intellectual magic to it. It's basically just a sale. It's a 4-day sale. If you didn't have a list and you didn't have a product, you could reach out to a business owner that you know, or maybe you don't even know. You could just go in and say, hey, how would you like to increase your sales? Or, and I did this with Roger Dunn Golf. They were one of my customers, and I said, hey, you know, I've got this new script for a 4-day sale. Do you have any old inventory you want to dump? And they said, hell yeah, we have a whole warehouse full of expired products we would love to get rid of. And we did the 4-day cash machine over and over and over for them and dumped all that inventory. Just cleared their warehouse of it. And every time I did it, I would make the commissions on it. I'd say, hey, you know, how much do you want to give off, and how much will you give me to move the merchandise? So they would give me a percentage of the sales. I would send the 4 emails out to their list using their system. I'd just log into their mail system, send the emails out, and collect the cash. They dumped their inventory. They were happy to pay me to do it. It's like they could have done that themselves, but they're not going to. So if you show up to a business owner and you give him an opportunity to liquidate his inventory and put cash in his pocket and pay you to do it, he would rather pay you to do it because he doesn't know how, or he doesn't want to, or that's not a good use of his time. While you were pouring all that money in his pocket, he could have been sitting on the beach in Hawaii. That's a good use of his time, right? He could be spending time with his family. That's a good use of his time. Sending out emails is probably not a good use of a business owner's time. That's why setting up an auto response sequence that's going to work for you forever, that's a good use of a business owner's time. That's working on their business, not working in their business. But for any of you that don't have a product and you just need to make money, you can make money almost instantly using that 4-day sequence. And all you have to do is find a business owner that knows the value of their time and still wants to make money. And as long as you pour money in their pocket, they'll drizzle some into yours. They're happy to do it.
John, if you can actually plus that for those of us on the call who are a little bit further down the road, you do that cycle once or twice, and then you can, the next time you can experiment with, tell you what, rather than just getting some little emails here, why don't I do this for your whole business and give me a little piece of your business if I do this? And you can set out benchmarks. I got a third of a $3 million company that way in 90 days.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people that do that. Like that was one of Perry and Roland's businesses where they set up and they did that. They went into companies that had good stuff and they offered to do their marketing for them and take a piece of the business. Then they set the benchmark. They said, okay, your business did X amount this year. If we grow it over the next year, we want that cut of the profits. And they did that quite effectively with a lot of different businesses.
You have this sequence done, John, for 4-day cash machine for the ACT program, right?
No, you just stuck a thorn in me. That's another pain in my side.
No, I'm saying, well, John, I'll help you write those emails to do the ACT program and a 4-day cash machine to my list.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you guys could do that. You're all affiliates of mine. There you go. I have the product for you. I have the list. You just, or you have the list. You just send it out and away you go. So cool stuff. All right. So that is that. We've covered the year-end sequence. We've exposed the pain. We have given you a vehicle to make money if you don't have a list or you don't have a product and you just need to make money in the new year to survive. You've got that. Now I'm going to put the frosting on the Twinkie. Are you guys ready to frost your Twinkie now? I'm going to basically share the epiphany I've come to of who Acquisitionaire is perfect for. And everything outside of that is kind of a spinning your wheels process. And if you guys bought Acquisitionaire to sell it or be an agency owner and you want to sell the leads instead of use the leads, it's a conversation I had with Anthony on Saturday. We sat down. I was down in San Diego and went into my favorite seafood restaurant, which is right across the street from his house. I sent him a picture and I said, guess where I am? And he said, I'm on my way. So we had lunch there and he's really excited, like a lot of people are, about Acquisitionaire. And we sat down, it was Saturday morning. I'm going to work all weekend to figure out how to do this cold email. And I thought, why? Why in the hell are you going to do that? You are going to slow yourself down. You're going to put up hurdles and roadblocks in the way of a pile of cash that's waiting for you. You're going to make money selling leads, not learning email. There's a lot of people out there that already know how to do the email. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. What you need to do is you need to refocus who your ideal customer is. And I swear to God, I've spent the last decade trying to grill this into people with SEO, and I wasn't successful at it. And the thing is, all these agency owners that learn how to do SEO or learn how to sell SEO as a product or service, I told them all from day one who my ideal customer was in SEO. And it was not local businesses. Yet I could not get them to not want to do SEO for local businesses. To me, I never did one SEO project for a local business personally. I did a lot of them through resellers. All of my SEO clientele was manufacturers, and they were all in the $2 to $10 million range. I found that to be the absolute sweet spot for me for my SEO customers. They made me a fortune over my career focusing on the ideal customer. The reason it was $2 million, the minimum I was looking for was a $2 million annual income or annual revenue manufacturer, was they had already gotten over the hurdle. They had already made it. They already had money to spend on advertising, and they knew they needed to. The reason I capped it at 10 was I found that at $10 million, you've got too many people involved in the business. It's become a ladder of people to climb over to get to the right person, and you got too many people in the decision process. And usually you're not talking to the owner anymore. In the 2 to 10 million, almost every time I was dealing with the owner of the company. And he was the decision maker, and he made the decision. It was a piece of cake. But when I got outside of that, it was a pain in my ass every time, because the guy that was going to hire me was threatened. If I did a poor job, he was going to lose his job. So I was fighting tooth and nail to get the job because of that. I had a lot of hurdles to overcome. I had none of that when I was dealing with the business owner. The business owner made decisions, and he made them fast, just like all successful business owners do. If I could show him the right set of criteria, boom, I had the job. He was never a pain in my ass. If I brought him enough business that he was profitable, he was good. He was never looking for reports. He didn't give a rat's ass about Google Analytics. All he cared about, he's a manufacturer. He doesn't need 1,000 customers to survive. He needs one more or two new customers a year to fill his coffers. That was my ideal customer. They were an absolute dream to work with. It was a beautiful life working with that customer. And every time I saw somebody go outside of that, they got roughed up, and they kept doing it. I'm like, guys, focus on the manufacturers. I don't know why that was such a difficult concept to understand, but they kept wanting to work with these little companies. And it's like every time they're a pain in the ass. They're spending money they can't afford to spend. Like if you look at a plumber, you know, he might make 60 grand a year, and he's putting food on his table out of that 60 grand a year. You come in and you want to take 10 of it off his table. He's already working pretty much as he wants to work, and you're just going to take 10 grand of food off his table. That's not going to be fun for him, and it damn sure ain't going to be fun for you trying to do that. He doesn't get it. He doesn't want to go up. I told the people, like when I first started teaching SEO, and I realized, God, I can't get these people out of this mode. They just want to deal with these little local businesses. That was the time when the phone book was still around. This tells you how far back this conversation goes. I said, if you're going to do this, here's what I would do. I would get the phone book, and I would open it up to whatever niche you want. If it's plumbers you want, great. If it's electricians, if it's carpet installers, I don't care. Just open that phone book and find the guy that's running the full page ad. That's the only guy I would deal with. That's the guy that's ready to spend some money. That's the guy that understands the value of advertising. That's the guy that is really focused on growing his business and being the top of the ladder in that niche. That's who I'd focus my time on. Now, moving forward into acquisition. Here's the thing. Here's the problem with SEO. You pick the keywords. You think you got it right. It's going to take you 3 to 6 months to find out if you were right. And if you weren't right, then you got to change the whole thing and do it again. Now you're another 6 months away. You just chewed up a year to figure out how to do something. With Acquisitionaire, you can buy enough actual leads in a 24-hour period to test your funnel. You can compress that 6 months into 1 day. And if it doesn't convert, you pause the campaign. You make your adjustments to the funnel and you turn it on the next day and you buy another 100 leads. You just compressed, again, guess what, Jay? This is time compression back again. We just compressed a year process of SEO into 2 days. You know, maybe 3 or 4 if it took you some time to tweak the funnel. So we compressed a year into a week of getting a customer to success. Right? How would you like to do that for your customers? Take a year process and compress it down into a week and provide them success in a 1 week time frame and prove it. The problem here is the same problem with SEO. There's another layer to this problem is they don't have a marketing funnel that's going to convert. They've never run ads before. They don't know how to do any of this. And you're not in business to do that for them. You're in business to sell them leads. When you're an Acquisitionaire reseller, you're in business to sell them the leads. You're a lead gen company. You're not a marketing company. Like when I was doing SEO, I was not offering marketing. I was not offering them conversion. That was their bailiwick. I was offering them traffic from SEO. If they didn't know how to convert it, they probably weren't in the $2 to $10 million club. They didn't get there without knowing how to convert it. That made them my ideal customer. When I looked at all the guys doing the local business, the local SEO, those companies didn't know how to convert. So you were never going to be able to make them happy. The moral of the story here is you don't have to do the marketing. All you have to do is find the ideal customer. You don't need to learn how to do email. You don't need to learn how to run ads for them. You need to find the ones. Your ideal customer for Acquisitionaire is the customer that's already buying leads. Plain and simple. Throw the rest out the window. They're going to be a pain in your ass. When you find the ones that are buying leads, they're probably buying a lot of leads. They're probably buying all the leads that are available to them in the traffic channel they're used to. You're going to bring them a new traffic channel. This traffic channel has not existed before. It's not like you're going to show up and they're going to say, yeah, we're already buying those. They're not. If they say they're not, if they say they are buying them, then you have not described it to them yet. Or you haven't done a very good job of telling them what you've got to offer. This is a unique new source of lead. It's a new traffic channel for them. It should be very familiar to them because it's off of one of the best traffic channels there is, which is search engine optimization. All these people, all these leads are coming from people that are in market. So like Richard came up with the MQL, the market qualified leads. I took that to a new level, changing the M to an I. They're IQL. IQ is associated with intelligence. This is the smart way to do business with IQL. It's in-market qualified leads. These leads are all in market. They're all searching for what you have to offer. They're qualified because they've consumed content, multiple pieces, and they're leads. They're IQ, they're high IQ leads. IQ, the smarter way to do business. That's a big idea. They've never heard it before. It checks all the boxes. It's, you know, you can do the promise. Richard threw the promise on leads for less than the cost of clicks. That's the promise. High IQ is the curiosity factor. It's also the unique delivery mechanism wrapped up in one. So this is so sexy. It's so easy to sell if you're selling it to the right person. You need to find either the person that's already buying leads for their business and has got the funnel styled in. If you're going to work on the low end of things, what I would call the local businesses, you need to find those customers. They already know how to do it. You're going to sell them leads into a pipeline that's already working. If you want to really make some money, you want to go up to the level where I was and work with the manufacturers, you need to go up to the people that are called media buyers. In an ad agency, big companies that buy a lot of advertising and buy a lot of leads, they go to the advertising agency and they pay them a lot of money to create the marketing funnel for them. The next step in their process is now to fuel it with traffic. Remember, ACT, traffic is on the end. The marketing company does the analysis, they build the funnel, they create the messaging, and then traffic comes in. And this is a different department within the ad agency. They call this a media buyer. So the ad agency is going down their assembly line and they pass it now to the media buyer. You find that media buyer and you have a conversation with him about a new traffic channel. He's going to be very interested. And media buyers typically buy in 25,000 blocks. Like they'll buy 25,000 leads at a time as a test. What do you think they'll buy when the test works? It's a question of how many do you have? So that's what I would recommend is you focus on that group of people. If you're not confident with that, you need to focus on the other ones. I would really seriously look at the smaller businesses that are buying leads already. There's a ton of small businesses that have figured this out. They're very successful because of it. You need to focus on them. Success begets success. You don't want to go and try and fix the struggling. I know that sounds a little mean, but I use the lifeguard analogy all the time. A lifeguard will not go out to a struggling person to try and save them because they're going to die in the process, and you will too. They will suck you down under the water with them, and you'll both perish. That's what's going to happen if you do this wrong. So the lifeguard gives instruction, the person follows the instruction, and they get saved. I guarantee you're not going to find too many people that are going to be willing to roll over and let you rub their belly. It just doesn't happen. The ego, there's too much ego involved. The ego is going to kill them off. Find the ones, just sidestep all of that and just find the ones that are already buying the leads. They know what to do with them. You're not going to have to hold their hand. You're just going to feed them leads and make money. Or find the media buyer and make a shitload of money. The media buyer is not going to say, well, how do we cold email these? Right? They're not going to do that. They're going to teach you a thing or two about it. That's where the money is in this. And there's a lot of money. So hopefully that makes sense. That is your path. Like if I could give you all a gift, anyone that has acquisition error, if I could give you a gift rolling into 2024, that's it. I just told you who your ideal customer is. I did the research for you. All you have to do now is identify them, find them, present to them, and sell to them. You'll make an absolute fortune doing it. Jason, go ahead.
A quick question for you, John. When we do find these people and they do want to buy a larger quantity to try out or to test, was that something you guys will work with us on? I mean, I've got, a certain amount of credit I can, to buy the leads for $2 a piece, but if they want to buy a larger amount than I actually have the capital to do on a credit card, let's say, or something like that, is that something you'll work with us on, if we have that opportunity?
Yeah, we're going to roll out 2 enterprise level programs in 2024. Basically, the first 2 people that ramp up and scale up, we're going to work with them on an enterprise level to cut the costs down. So you can move up into a massive deal. But we don't have a lot of room where we are at the level that we are to really cut our costs down too much at this point. But where you can cut costs down is you could basically do the same thing. We're marking this up very, very small amounts at this point. Like
Right.
the $1.99 lead, I'm not making a tremendous amount of money on that. It's giving you the opportunity to mark it up to, whatever you want going out the gate. These leads are very valuable.
I think he might have been asking about like a financing. Would you
Oh, gotcha.
floor plan it for him, just from an AR standpoint?
Yeah, if we sold them for like $3 instead of 2, and somebody wanted to buy like 10,000, leads to test it out, like one of these media buyers you're talking about, I don't have like $30,000 credit card to. So what I'm wondering is
gotcha.
you work with us to make that happen so that we get money wired to us or something. I'm just trying to figure
Gotcha.
this part out, because I've been thinking about that myself. I have a couple people potentially that may want to do like 1,000 lead test or something like that, and I have X amount of dollars on my credit card, and when it hits it, it's going to be maxed out, and I don't want to like mess the flow of the money up and stuff like that. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
So the way in the white label system, the way it's billed, you don't really have any money or exposure out. The client puts their credit card in to buy the leads. When they purchase the leads, it's hitting their card.
Okay, I got you.
The money comes in, the split automatically goes to us. The $1.99 automatically goes to us, and the profit goes right into your account.
Okay.
So it's not like you don't have to pay for the leads and buy them to resell them. It's the only time where you would be stuck with that is if you've got a bad credit card, like they give you a bad credit card.
Right.
So depending on, and this is something in any business, like if you allow someone credit in a business, you have to make sure they're credit worthy. So in that case, like if you had somebody that was going to buy, $100,000 worth of leads a month, hey, I can't cover that if they screw me. I can't cover that. So what you can do is you can put them on a retainer. It's almost like when you go to rent a house, you have to put up the first and last rent. So that way, if they skip a payment, the homeowner doesn't lose out. So you could do that. You could say, hey, if you're putting up 100,000, the 100,000 needs to go into a buffer account. That's an escrow account. And then, it's just you're a month ahead on schedule. And again, it's not like they're going to say, oh, well, I can buy these leads from someone else down the street. They can't. This is a new thing. You can say, yeah, you can go buy the other leads you're already buying, but you're already capped out on that. I'm offering you a new traffic source. This is going to be of a very big value to them. So you get to set the rules of the game. You get to set the terms and conditions of your sale. And that might be, something that you just put in place as a business standard in your business.
Okay, thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
John, you once said before that you had to sell 50,000 leads before you'd be eligible for this enterprise situation.
correct.
My question would be, what if instead I can get a contract from somebody who says we will buy 30,000 leads a month and here's a 1-year contract?
Yeah.
Does that qualify?
Not really. You basically, the way we put it out was you'd have to hit 50,000 leads a month for 3 months in a row. And a 30,000 contract for a year doesn't really hit that. Like somebody could do that and then not do anything else. The idea of looking at it as a ramp up, seeing if they ramp up to that really quickly, we know they're going to ramp up through the moon. A single contract could be luck. We don't want to base an enterprise on luck. We want to base it on performance. That's why it's 50,000 3 months in a row is kind of our bar, our criteria that we set. Not to say that it wouldn't be negotiable or something that we would discuss or talk about. So, not saying that your idea is out the window, but it wouldn't be it's not what I would look at as an opportunity dropped at my doorstep. There may be other factors that, relationships and all that can come into play. So, not saying you're out, saying it wouldn't be the norm.
Had to ask, already had no. Thanks, John.
You still don't have a hard no.
All the best negotiations begin with no.
That's right. So, but yeah, I mean, this is an awesome game to be playing, to be the first players in the game. And, it really does. It gives me a lot of hope for 2024 being just a grand year for all of us. Anybody that's playing this game. It's like the whole idea of this time compression, it makes me wonder what in the hell I was doing in SEO to begin with. It really does. And I mean, I ruled that world for a long, long time. But it really makes me think, God, this is such a better tool, such a better animal. So,
John, you
Nick,
had to wait for AI to catch up. That was the whole thing.
yeah, that's true. Nick, go ahead. You gotta unmute.
Nope, thank you. Yeah, so I have been planning on using Acquisition from the jump just as the single plane pilot for my own purposes for generating my own leads when I
Okay.
got onto the beta program. But now I'm realizing that a lot of my clients are whatever, they're insurance agents and so on. They would be great people for me to be selling leads to. So really quickly, give me your elevator pitch on how this is different on these leads, because remember originally you set it up and you talked about that, but I was thinking about buying them for myself, so I was sold as
Sure.
opposed to being able to make the pitch. Lay it
Sure.
on me.
Well, the first thing you have to understand is it's not ideal for them if they're not currently buying leads and they don't know what to do with them. Because if that's the case, you selling them leads that they can't convert isn't really going to be helpful. That's going to be a very short term thing, and it's going to lead to a come to Jesus meeting that oftentimes SEO led to when you sold SEO to the wrong customer. So that's something you really need to focus on, is when you're looking at prospects, who your ideal customer is. It's one of those guys that is already buying leads and is successfully closing business with leads.
Well, they're
So-
buying things like Facebook ads and they're paying for SEO, SEM, that kind of stuff.
Okay. If they're, like I said, if they're doing that and they are closing business off those ads, see, there's a lot of guys that will buy stuff. They'll buy Facebook ads and they don't really need to make money off them because they're making so much money off of other channels. They're just doing that because they think they need to. So you want the ones that are actually buying leads and following up with them themselves, not ones that are just throwing money at Facebook and taking laydown sales out of Facebook. You know, you really want people that know what to do with these and are email marketing to them. Because this is an email marketing system. This is lead gen for email marketing.
Lead gen for, okay. And what makes it different?
So the thing that makes this different as a lead source is, first, they're in market. These are people who are actively looking for what you have to offer. And the deal here is we're able to get them without them having gone to your website. Because before, if someone was running search, you had to spend a ton of time and effort and money to get your site up in front of them. And the thing is, even if you got to number 1 on the search engine, there's still 9 other people advertised to that person. The chances of them clicking on you even being number 1 is a small percentage. We're just going to tell you who's looking for you and give you their contact information to contact them. It's, again, showing up at the right place at the right time. These are what is considered in-market leads. That's why, like, Richard came up with the brilliance of that market qualified leads. All I did was throw in on the front of that. And what it did, throwing in market on that, created a new acronym for us of IQ. These are high IQ leads. Everyone associates IQ with intelligence. This is the smart way to do business. This is the smart way to do lead gen. So that right there is a conversation they've never heard before. You can also throw in the buzzword of this is AI is allowing us to do this. This is a new, you know, the word new gets attention because it's new. The word AI gets attention because it's got so much press. It's so hot that everyone wants leverage. Like, business owners are very competitive. They're all about leverage. So when you give them new and AI way to get leads, you just gave them a whole bunch of leverage in their tool belt. So they're very excited about it. And now you're convincing them. It's like seduce the heart with the idea of all this leverage, but now you're going to convince their head with talking about these people are already looking for you. These are the best possible leads you can get, and you're going to buy them for less than the cost of a click. If they're buying leads, they know about paying for clicks, and they know they got to pay for a whole bunch of clicks before they even get a lead. So you're giving them an actual lead right now for less than the cost of a single click in many cases. So that is the angle I would shoot with them if you want to come across as how this is different.
John, there's also one big, huge one, is that particularly for PPC advertisers, look at what you're doing with Google. We don't search Google. We search everything.
Yeah.
What? If there's a search box on the web, we're searching it. It's all your major search engines, plus, you know, all those little specialty sites where people go when they're almost at the buying point.
Yeah, that's
We'll
really
give you those
powerful.
guys too.
Yeah, that's another really powerful key point. Most people that are focused on ads are just, they're so hyper focused on Google. It's everything is Google, and it's like they're looking through a little microscope thing here, and they're basically, let's see, I don't know, somebody tried to share the screen there, but anyway, they're looking through like a little peephole. They're not seeing the whole thing. Like the idea that somebody could be searching on a specialty site for what you have to offer, and then you getting in their email box like seconds later, that's incredibly powerful. That's like, that's like, we're talking about something the world's never seen before here. An incredibly powerful tool for business that no one else has access to. This gives us an incredible advantage. Now, I don't know how long this advantage will last. Who knows? Somebody might figure out this tech stack and start competing with us at any given point in time in the future. So right now we have a really good ramp. You guys should take advantage of that. It's like SEO. When I first started in SEO, I can't say I was the only game in town, but I was the only game in town. They didn't know about anyone else. When I brought it to them, they weren't out hunting. They had no idea how to find somebody that had my skill set. So I was it. And I made them a lot of money. And I made a lot of money in the process. So I had years of that, of swimming in clear blue water before the blood showed up. Once the blood showed up in the water, the game is no longer fun. It's a different game. So you have a big ocean of clean, clear blue water to swim in right now. I would take advantage of swimming and getting while the getting's good. My grandma said, you make hay while the sun shines. Well, the sun is out. It's summertime right now. Take advantage of it. So, Russell, what do you got for us today?
Speaking about sunshine, I wish the sun would shine over here.
I bet. For the guy that sells sun umbrellas, you need
Yeah,
some
right.
sunshine.
So you were talking about time compression and strengths and weaknesses. And early in the call, somebody brought up the point of creating emails that convert. I have no doubt the Acquisitionaire program gives you good leads, but without having that email that converts, you're just kind of pushing away money.
You're absolutely 100% correct.
That's where I'm stuck in the whole process. I need your help.
Okay. So you basically need the marketing end of it at this point. That's where, somebody else had asked if I'm going to share the sources that we've come up with. And I don't know if any of you guys remember Brian Kelly. He's the one that did Celebrity Creators long time ago. He is now doing marketing funnels, and he's got onto Acquisitionaire and knows what a gold mine it is. And he's basically offering to do affordable funnels for this thing to help people out. We've got a couple other people. They're going to be much higher. I don't know, the level of quality. You just have to kind of play around with it like anything else. But we'll be putting together, I think Brady's on here now. We'll be putting together, I think we've got 3 or 4 people now that have put proposals or semi-proposals together for us. I don't really care if we even make any money off them. I'd rather have you guys get the services more affordable to help you, get your stuff converting. But we'll put that together this week and get that out for you. We'll put an email out to all the Acquisitionaire people and let you know what we have available at this point. So you can reach out, contact these people and talk to them and see if any of them look right for you and try them out. But
okay, I would appreciate that. I reached out to the one guy that Brady gave me the name of, and he kind of ghosted me, never responded back to me. So
was that Lorenzo?
Yeah.
I don't think Lorenzo was quite ready yet.
Okay.
I think that's the deal. We hit him with several people, and I just don't think he's quite ready in his process. He's really trying to gear this thing up big, and he's mostly focused on the internal gearing up of the whole system. So
Okay.
I don't think he's really ready to take people on, but Brian Kelly is, and I think he's probably going to be more affordable anyway. So fact,
Okay, I'll wait to see an email come out then. I appreciate your help.
all right. In fact, Brady, I know you're on here. If you can just connect Russ with Brian, that'd be awesome. Just give him a head start.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good. Will do.
Yeah. All right. That it, Russ?
Yep, that's all I had for now. Thank you.
Okay, cool. And then whatever Brian, if you decide to work with Brian, whatever he comes up with, run it by me and I'll take a look at it for you and see if we can sharpen your sword.
Sounds good. Thank you, John.
Awesome. All right, back to Jason. You're muted there, Jason.
Sorry for sharing my screen. I hit the wrong button. I didn't realize it was
Oh, no worries.
I was looking up a lead to call about this actually, but the one part that I would really kind of want to try to figure out the best way to tell people about is I understand how you get the sites, the leads off their own website. I understand how there's different search boxes like Quora, Reddit, all these different, Home Depot, all the different places where it captures people typing that in. But the contextual leads that come is when they're reading like news articles about it, or
Yeah,
I don't know how to explain that to people. What were those and how are they identified on the spreadsheet? Was it with an exclamation point after the search term, or how do you know which ones are contextual and which ones are coming from actual search?
Yeah, they've got the little marker next to them on the spreadsheet. But contextual, this is something like if you guys are running search leads in the system, you should also be doing contextual because the contextual is as if not more powerful because that's people that are actually reading content, whether they've been through search or not. Like somebody might be on somebody's list and they might have gotten an email that spawned them to go and research something and had a link to go, and they might not have even been through search, but they're still an in-market lead. The key is the in-market qualified leads here is what makes these things so powerful and makes them worth so much. So that contextual, it's just that. It's people consuming content off of websites, whether they came through search or not. If they didn't come through search, we're calling it contextual. But even though when they come through search, it's the contextual consumption of content that qualifies them as a market lead, an in-market lead in our system.
Okay, so if they're reading about like difference between an asphalt roof and like a tin roof or whatever, then or two different brands, like they're like I think Brady was talking about like different water heaters or something in the training. Those are something that's obviously, I mean, unless you just want to learn about water heaters, which I don't think anybody's really looking to read about water heaters on a regular basis. So that's how you describe it. They're consuming. And now on the sales page too, it says from the initial sales page, I believe it said that they consume one piece of content and then at least one more relevant piece of content after that. And that's when they actually get triggered into the system, correct?
Correct. Yeah, they have to consume 2 pieces of relevant content.
Okay. All right, man. I love it, man. I just want to make sure I'm crystal clear. I've got in the media buyer, and as far as like the $2 to $10 million companies, are those just any $2 to $10 million company pretty much, or you recommend certain types of companies?
Well, that was me with SEO. That was my ideal customer with SEO. And I used that as a way to show you that I identified who my ideal customer for SEO was. Your ideal customer here is a different target. Your ideal customer here might be a manufacturer, but it's not going to be the manufacturer himself because you want the guy that's buying leads.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be a manufacturer in the 2 to 10 million. It could be an internet marketer that has figured out how to market products and he needs a new way to scale traffic. So you're looking either for somebody that is buying leads and emailing those leads, or a media buyer at an ad agency if you really want to shoot for the stars. Okay, so the media buyer would be the equivalent of my manufacturer, and the other one would be the equivalent of the local business that actually is buying leads and knows what they're doing.
Okay.
Those are going to be too cream of the crop on both ends of the scale.
Okay, so those like a medium business that knows what they're doing would obviously be doing, I would assume, at least 5 million a year and probably I mean, you could probably go on their website and just enter their funnels and have an idea if they're going to be any good at it or not. I would assume.
Yeah. If they're the question to ask them, you can pre-qualify them pretty easily. The question to ask them is how many leads they're buying per month, and are they email marketing to those leads? And then what's their conversion ratio? And
So-
if they don't have the answer to those three questions, that's not your ideal customer.
Okay, so they need to know their conversion. They need how many leads they're buying a month, and if they have a strong email marketing game, basically.
Yeah, it's how many leads a month. That's your first qualifier.
Yeah.
Are they email marketing to those leads? That's your second qualifier. And what's their conversion ratio?
Got it.
And those are your qualifiers. Once you've qualified them, your sales question is how would you like to buy in market high IQ leads for less than the cost of a click? That's basically your sales pitch right there. And if they say, hell yeah, forget the rest of the pitch. Just get out the sales contract and sign them up.
All right.
If they start asking you questions, answer the questions sufficiently until you feel they're sold, and then say, does this sound like something you want to move forward with? And if they say yes, again, forget the rest of the pitch, get out the contract and sign them up.
And would you offer potentially maybe pretty aggressive pricing, get them to do a test on it, or would you just kind of stick with like, would you say this is a discounted rate, and would you have different plateaus for amounts of leads they're buying? I would assume would that be another thing you'd recommend? If you're going to buy 1,000 leads, it's this price. You buy 5,000, it's this price. You buy 10,000, it's this price. And then unlimited, are as many as you can get. Just call us and we'll put something together for you, basically, right?
Like knowing your cost of $2, you might want to start off at, let's say, $5. And say, hey, we're selling these things for $5 a piece. They're like gold. If you're willing to buy, 1,000 leads a month, we'll cut it down to 3 for you. If you're willing to do 10,000 a month, we'll cut it down to, 275. That's about, where we can go. You figure out, what your lowest possible margin would be of what you want to sell them for. And then you price out at how many you need to move to make that worth your while. But it is a good idea to leave that padding in there. Like, we're coming out at a low wholesale rate on this to give you guys the opportunity to do all of that padding. We don't have a tremendous amount of padding until we get up into like the hundreds of thousands of leads and millions of leads. When we get up into the millions of leads, I'm going to have more negotiating power on my end, and then I can cut your costs down and give you more margin. But until I get there, we're kind of stuck in the beginning phase of this, because we've got the data providers, and for us to even start negotiation on that, we're going to have to be up in the mass quantity of leads before we can do that. I'm depending on you guys to put us there. That's going to make us all more money.
Well, I love the $2, man. It's like Trader Joe's $2 chuck, but not for wine. So, but
well, believe me, when I can get that lead cost down for you, I will do it.
All right. Thanks, John.
John, I'd like to throw something interesting on that. Is that you never discount a price without a reason. And while volume is kind of a good reason, a better reason that will serve you better is that I'll give these to you at this wholesale price, whatever that wholesale price is you've decided on. If you will report back to me how these leads compare to the leads you're currently using. That way it gives them a reason. Okay, I'm getting a price. Now they're going to be focused on the lead quality, and you're going to get testimonials, or you're going to find out real quick that you need to have a call to John to figure out something else is going on. But you have to have a reason for it. And if they're
you already have the reason for that by giving them this new innovative traffic channel. You already have that. you want to, like what I just did, the way I just brought that across is the right way for you to bring across the reason before, for the discount is if you can get your volume up, you'll help me get my price down and I can pass that forward to you. That's your reasoning behind that. That is the perfect way to go because it's a win-win. You're working together, you're creating a synergy between the two of you, and you're building a relationship. It's not just, oh, well, I'll give you this if you do this much. It's you're telling them, you're showing them, hey, I have pain here, I have high costs. I'm doing the best I can for you. But together, if we work together and you move this volume, you're going to help me get my price down and I'm going to pass that forward to you. That's the way I would bring that through. Again, you're creating long-lasting relationships here. So
I like that even better.
Build the synergy all you can. You'll keep them forever. Like, it was real easy for me. I'm gonna share something with you guys. It was real easy for me to cut SEO loose when I did, because most of my clients were dead. I started this very early. Like I started into this really early. Most of my clients were considerably older than I was when I started in SEO. And if you look at the lifetime value and when the relationship ended, it was typically when they passed away. And the majority of my manufacturers are no longer on the green side of the grass. So I had no interest in going back and restarting that game or working in local business. So everything in this was perfect timing for me to cut that off. I only had a couple left, and I told them, I said, look, why would you pay me for SEO when I can just tell you who's looking for you? And they're like, hell yeah. You've always taken care of me, and you're taking care of me still. And I'll take care of them till they're no longer on the green side of the grass. So it was funny. I brought a salesperson in a long time ago, and the first thing they wanted to do was, let's see your client list. Let's try and reactivate your clients. And I'm like, okay. And I'd never done that before. Pulled up the client list and we're going down the past clients. I'm like, yeah, that one's dead. That one's dead. Yeah, that one died. That was when they leave me. They pretty much die. It's almost like somebody said, it sounds like you're in the mafia. I guess that's why they call me the godfather of SEO.
That's a good reputation, John.
Yeah, it's kind of scary when you think about it, but it seems to have worked for me.
Yeah.
But that's how, I mean, to me, that's how you do business. It's forever. To me, business is forever. When you get a customer, you know what they need, and whenever you can offer it to them or find somebody that's got something, you offer that to them. And, if you position it, you'll make money forever. As long as you're both on the green side of the grass, money should be flowing. It's all about providing value. That's what business is about. It's provide value in exchange for money. Whether it's your value or someone else's value, if you can get in the middle of that value transfer, you can make money. It's the way it's been since the beginning of time. So value those relationships, nurture them, culture them, and you'll make money forever. And with that, there goes the bell.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah, Happy New Year. I'm glad you guys all showed up for this and spent this time to prepare for what's ahead. 2024 should be an absolute winner for everyone involved here. An absolute winner. I mean,
Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks, John.
Plans there.
Good stuff.
So we will see you all in the new year. I'll be back next Thursday, and I've got one more of these calls for the crypto club and get them set, and then we'll see you guys in the new year. Have a great one, everybody.
Happy
Yeah,
New Year.
thank
Too,
you.
good night.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.